Hello, my name is Natalie and I'm from the AIM Foundation, and I'm here partnered with Essex Opportunities to help you guys register and search for apprenticeships today using one site. Obviously, the information you get from this, you should be able to then use that and help you on other sites or other job boards that you need when you start searching for apprenticeships and other opportunities for yourselves. So the site we're going to use today is the findandapprenticeship.gov.uk one, and I have mentioned this before on another chat that I've already done for the company. So this one's very easy to use. When you sign up for an account, it will allow you to create alerts and save favourites. It will help you search for employers and find information about them, and also the training providers they're using to deliver the apprenticeships. It is free of charge to use as well, so no charge at all to you, and the information it does ask for, even though it's not very much, is still very secure. And for every job role that you come across that you like, there is a quick apply now button which will take you exactly to where you need to be able to apply. So with this, you're going to be able to follow along, and I will pause, and you'll be able to pause your screen whilst you catch up with wherever I am. So don't be afraid to pause as you need to. But your first steps in any search engine that you like on your computer, please put apprenticeships.gov.uk/influencers/FAA/regions. And once that pops up, if you're in the Essex region or below Birmingham, essentially, you can put South as a region. Then from this, you should see this screen. So if you would like to click create an account, which is located, as you can see, underneath the green search button, click on there and it will open up and start asking you for information. It's going to ask you for your name, your birthday, address, an email address that anybody can contact you, so make sure it's an appropriate email address. It's going to ask you for a contact phone number as well. So if you do have a phone number, please make sure you have a answer phone message, which is a good answer phone message, just in case you've got any potential employers contacting you. And just a few other bits of information about you. And then from that, you're going to be asked to make a password, which you need to remember, so make a note of that. Once you have a password, your verification will go straight through to your email, where you'll need to tap in a code. And that brings you back into the account, where they just want a few more questions about you answered. And these are just the stats questions, just to help them understand who's using the site. And it's literally just those 6 questions there. And then you'll be able to sign in and use the account at any time that you like. So if you just want to pause the recording while you just catch up and get to that point where you've gone past your stats questions, that would be amazing. So welcome back. So we're going to do a simple search today. So this is just in order for me to show you all the tools, and I'll give you some tips for your CV and tips for your interviews as well as we go along. They're giving you a lot of information in their advert. So let's do a simple search first. So you should all have the screen here. When you first sign in, this is what you will see. So if you can leave the keywords free, normally you would put a single keyword in there because it's easier for the computer to process and find from that, like plastering, NHS, nurse, whatever it happens to be. But for these purposes, just leave it free. Pop your postcode in, and then change your radius to maybe 10 miles, depends on whether you travel, what's going to be easiest for you, but 10 miles gives you quite a good view. I just want to open it up and show you how many opportunities there are potentially around you. And then with apprenticeship level, leave it at all levels at the moment, because you never know what eligibility you're going to need for the job role. Again, I will talk to you about that as well. The box at the bottom, which is disability confident, that is essentially businesses that have had training to be able to support people with needs in their business. Now, every business does this anyway, because we will all make reasonable adjustments in any business for people that we take on. But if you need that confidence that somebody knows exactly what they're doing feel free to tick the box, but be warned, it does narrow down how many results you do get. And then click search. And then once you've clicked search, you should end up with a whole page of your first set of results, and it will look something like my screen. So at the top, my one says you can found 3 apprenticeships in your area. Now, if you have left that keyword section free, you've normally got a whole lot more. Sometimes with keywords, you'd have 0, which just means that there's nothing within that search criteria at the moment that fits. But don't be put off by that. What you can then do is click that bell that is just underneath those research results. And that will send anything new that matches that search you've just put in and click search for. Anything new that matches that will go straight into your inbox. So any new jobs, as soon as they come in, will go straight in for you. So you can be the first to apply, which would be amazing. As you can see on this screen down the side, you can edit the search however you like and research if you need to. And at any point, you can click that bell as many times as you like. You should also see on the right-hand side of the screen stars. Now, I don't have them on mine, but you should see a star next to each job that you have. So you can then shortlist that. If you click it, it goes straight into your account. But it won't do this without you having an account, which is why it's such a good idea to actually do the full sign up at the beginning. It doesn't take too long. Now, when we start looking at apprenticeships, you can see there's a full range. Probably as you scroll down your page, there'll be a variety if you have left the keyword free. But what you can see, if you just have a look at one of them for now, just to get used to what I'm talking to you about the different tools and whatnot, you can see what the job title is, you can see what business it's with, you can see when it was added to the system, which is key, so you know how old it is since it's been on there. You can see a brief overview, and then you've got 3 very interesting bits of information. So firstly, the distance from where you are, and I'll talk to you about that in 1 second, but you also have a closing date as well. So if it's still open, it may well be they haven't found the right person, so get your application as soon as you're able to. And also a possible start date. So this affects students that have not yet left school or the academic environment that they're in, because you need to have left school, or your last day of school be had by the time that date comes around. And if you're under 16, you need to be 16 and left school by the time that possible start date rolls around. So if it's now being shown in Easter, and for mine, you'd be starting in August, but you turn 16 and leave school both in June, you'd be able to apply for that in Easter, knowing that start date is after both those events. So the interesting one on here for me as well, that I've just glazed over, I said I'll come back to it, but is the journey time. So the distance and journey time. If you click that journey time for any job that you're looking at on there at the moment, doesn't matter what one it is, doesn't have to be one you're loving. But if you click that, you then get a drop down, as you can see on my screen. So for my job role, I'd be traveling 15 miles. So I might get the bus or train. So if I didn't drive, so you would select your mode of transport, shall we say. And as soon as you click that, you would then click on the map that says open map on my right hand side, and that will open up a whole screen that will literally tell you where you're going. It will show you the route, it will show you how many buses you have to get or trains, how long it is to walk from certain bits. It will give you timings. So if you have to go to a job interview at that place, you would be able to get there on time, because you're going to leave enough time for you to be able to get there. So it's a really, really good tool to help you with that planning. Now, once you've had a play with that, if you can close the map back down and then go back onto your results screen and click on any job, I'm just going to walk you through the job to tell you exactly what's on there, so you can make sense of it and understand all the tools that I'm going to talk about or what you're seeing. So open any job by clicking on the blue link of the title, and it will look something like this. So what you can see on the left-hand side of my screen is there's a wage that will either give you it in weekly or annually normally. Sometimes it even gives you it hourly, which is quite helpful, but you know what the minimum rate is of £4.81 as a minimum. So you might want to be looking for more than that. But it also shows you the working week as well. So if it doesn't give you it hourly, you're able to break down your annual or hourly wage into your working week total hours. And then you'll be able to see what your hourly rate would be. It then gives you the expected duration of your apprenticeship. So this is the time that you are fully employed within that apprenticeship for all of your learning. This is not including your endpoint assessment time. So level 2 has 3 months to get your endpoint assessment completed, which is your exams. So they do this in a variety of different ways. And you can speak to training providers about more information about that if you wanted to know more. And then for level 4 upwards, that timeline might be lengthened into 4 months, maybe 5 months, depending on what level you're working at, because there's a lot of work to be done, and obviously there needs to get assessors in for it as well. So it's not including the exam time, but it is including when all of your work should be done and completed. You then also see similar information, so your possible start date you've already seen, the date that it was posted you've already seen, the distance you've already seen, and the apprenticeship level, which you have not seen yet. So this will literally tell you what level qualification you're working at. For me, I can already see that my one would be an advanced level 3 A-level qualification. So then looking towards the middle, what will the apprentice be doing? This is essential to have a look at. You might think you want to do digital marketing, but if you read that and thought that's actually not what I thought it was going to be, it's going to be the wrong job for you. Or it actually might be the right job for you. It might be better than you thought it was going to be. So always have a read about what you would be doing, what your roles and responsibilities are. This is going to give you the best idea of what's going to be right for you. There's so many different choices out there. Don't be afraid of shortlisting, but this is key, because if you're going to be doing that for the next 17 months, you want to be doing something you feel like you're engaging with well. It also then has a section underneath about what training that you will undertake, and this is towards your qualification side of things, and what the qualification you would get at the end as well. So it has a description about what that is there. Then as you scroll down the page, you will see a section that says requirements and prospects. Now, sometimes there's an awful lot in there, sometimes there isn't a lot in there, but this is key, because this is where you can see what they're going to want to see on your CV. So you're able to use this on your CV. So everybody has communication skills. We talk all the time, we send emails, we are texting, we are using social media, etc. So we've got those skills already. And mine also has IT, attention to detail, organisational skills. Now, I'm not sure what you're all looking at, but there will definitely be things on there you're thinking, I've got this, I've definitely got this. So get it on your CV. This is how we match ourselves in and make us look like the best people for the job role. It also has a section on qualifications. So for mine, as you can see, it says essential. So I would need an English or a maths as essential to be able to apply for this apprenticeship. Now, a lot of the time it says desired. A lot of the time it says you don't need anything. But be forewarned, guys, if you don't have current maths and English pass grade, which is now a 4, or old school was a C, you will be asked to do it again via the apprenticeship. This is because it's a government incentive for everybody to get to a slightly better level that they were at if they are not already there with regard to their maths and English. But don't be afraid of that. I've redone mine in my grand old age, so I now have my passes as well, and it wasn't too bad. So that's what you're going to need. So a little bit further down, again, you can see a section about the employer. So again, you've got an overview of who they are, what they do. You've got their full address in writing. And on mine, I can see that I've got a contact of email, a name, and a phone number as well. So if I wanted to talk to somebody about the job role before I applied, I could potentially do that. I also then have at the bottom a section on training. So you guys can see who is that training with. So you'll be able to note whether it's a college or a training provider. Maybe it's in-house training that they do, in-house assessors. But you'll be able to find out more information by calling a number on there. Sometimes there's even training provider number as well that you can contact and find out more information. So don't be afraid of putting out the feelers first if you're a bit worried about it, or you just want some reassurance about what you're getting yourself into, because obviously you're going to sign yourself in, contract yourself in for this. So we want you to have all the tools and knowledge to be able to do so with a informed choice, shall we say. So when you're ready to apply, you can scroll back up to the top. Now mine says sign in to apply because I don't have an account, but yours will say apply. Click to apply or something similar. So that will take you to exactly the right place you need to go. So when you're ready and you've shortlisted, you can apply for as many as you like. So if you're already at school and going through that process with school and going through your exams, etc., I would advise you to do no more than 5 because the process can be really long, and you've got a lot going on with your exams anyway, let alone 10 job vacancies you're trying to apply for. So maybe a maximum 5. And if you get knocked out the running for one, you can pick another one up and start an application form again. So other places you can look. So we do mention this quite a lot. So company websites, they don't all advertise on the .gov pages, unfortunately. They don't all go to one place, which is unfortunate for everybody, but they just don't. So company websites, please have a look at those. There's so much information there. So go to their HR or career pages. That'll be very helpful for you. Social media, I've already mentioned. LinkedIn, you can have an account when you're 16, just sort of like Facebook for the workplace. And there's lots of different groups and things on there, so you can find out more information about apprenticeships directly if you needed to. Instagram is not going away. Twitter is not going away. They've always been about using it for a platform to talk about their apprenticeships. And then you've got higher and degree apprenticeships only if you wanted to download a brochure from the .gov pages. So this is where employers have a slightly higher profile. They choose to go into this booklet that can be downloaded, and your family and friends, they know so many people. They've got so many people they network with and have networked with. If you let them know what they're looking for, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to put the feelers out for you as well. We have podcasts as well. So if you are looking for inspiration and you want to hear it from the horse's mouth, we have got quite a lot of different podcasts on there. So we're up to about 10 or 11 now that you can listen to. And these are ongoing and are still they're planned out for next year as well. And our website, which is the aimgroupfoundation.org, you can have a look at that. It's got lots of information. It's still being built in areas, so we are improving this all of the time. For further help as well, finding out more information, there's the apprenticeships.gov.uk. That website is so helpful. Lots of information about becoming an apprentice. And also the Inspire and Influence tab has got some blogs and things like that about young apprentices that are already in situ, already doing the job, and you're getting their side of the story from the horse's mouth. Really, really good. And then amazingly-apprenticeships.com, such a good site, really helpful for not only students but teachers and parents as well, as resources for all 3 groups of people that they can find out more information, and you guys can get top tips for your CVs and for applications and for interview tips and things like that. There's so much information on there that will be very helpful for these processes you're going through.